investigation into sewage failings. Our business correspondent Paul Kelso's here with the details on that. So, Paul, what scale of fine are we talking about here?
Very big fines. A collective fine for three companies of £168 million, the biggest of which to a company we've talked about a lot, Thames Water, fined £104 million by the regulator Ofwat for failings in its management of sewage and wastewater. This has just dropped, particularly around its management of storm overflows, which we've talked about. When it rains heavily, the sewage system can't cope with the volumes. Rainwater and wastewater mixes and it flows into rivers and waterways. There's also fines of £47 million to Southern Water, previously the recipient of the biggest ever single fine of £127 million. This one for Thames doesn't quite get that high, but there's also £17 million fine for Northumbrian Water. Ofwat, I think we'll have their chief executive in a little later in the morning, see this as quite a big moment. They're actually investigating all 11 water and wastewater companies for their management of these sewage overflows. A reaction to public disgust, frankly, at what has been, we now know, has been going into rivers and waterways. This is part of a process. Ofwat doesn't do anything very quickly. These are proposed fines. The companies have a chance to come back. These fines and this action has been welcomed this morning by the Environment Minister. Interesting in the wider context of the water industry, particularly Thames Water, in huge financial trouble, debt-laden, struggling to find a business plan, struggling to find anyone who wants to invest in the company to try and clean up its act, literally and metaphorically. If this fine was being levied today, one has to ask the question whether it would have the cash.
Just quickly on the point you said, you know, these things all take quite a lot of time. Were we expecting news of this fine to come out today? Was this part of the final piece of an ongoing investigation, or was it just sort of slightly out of the blue?
Ofwat talked about this investigation has been open since 2022 into 7 of the companies. Another 4 were added last month. Ofwat said they were looking particularly at these 3, Thames, Southern and Northumbrian, in December, so it has been ongoing. This announcement, though, I think the water companies were informed yesterday, and it's released this morning in line with a normal announcement ahead of markets opening, because these are potentially price sensitive. But just to sum up, Thames Water, £104 million fine for failing to manage its sewage outflows correctly from the water regulator, along with £47 million for Southern Water and £17 million for Northumbrian. So more bad news for the water.